I just wanted to say that, the spiritual life, which we're all on. I mean, we're all here for self-growth, spiritual development, all of that, whether we realize it or not. But I think everybody in this group realizes that we're all on this spiritual journey together. But the spiritual life is founded upon love, compassion, and service to others. Living for others and loving others is not a burden or a sacrifice. Once we, or I should say maybe as we grow and develop in our spiritual nature, we understand clearly that it's not a burden or sacrifice, because our happiness is intimately connected and dependent upon the happiness of others. And also, if we want to get love, we have to give love. If we want peace, we need to be peace. But the other thing is that as we grow and develop and know that, the cultivation or the nurturing of altruistic, selfless love is of primary importance, what begins to happen is we become a channel for that love. And for those who have sort of sought or reached the ultimate goal of self-realization or union with God or awakening of their Buddha nature, whatever you want to call that connection with that eternalness, that part of us that is beyond our physical flesh and blood body, those who have attained that, those who have reached that, those beings, their motivation is simply to give, to serve, and to love others, to send out, loving energy. The Buddha said to radiate boundless love towards all beings. Jesus said to love one another, and not just, your friends and family, but even your enemies, which is radiating boundless love towards all beings. And those people that have attained that level of consciousness, this loving energy, this quality of altruistic, or when I say altruistic, I mean selfless love, spontaneously flows freely from their innermost being. They simply want to give love and be of service for no other reason than that their love just wants to share itself. It doesn't seek any benefit. It doesn't seek any reward. It looks for nothing in return. And this true love is full of compassion, is full of forgiveness, is full of tolerance for those who have done us wrong, whether they've done that wrong out of ignorance or out of malice. And it never finds satisfaction in revenge, judging, or talking bad about others. This is the ideal manifestation by men and women who are living true love. And so that's what loving kindness or the Metta practice is striving to do. It's helping us to cultivate such a love within us, because according to many traditions, we have that quality within us, but it's in us in potential. It's like a seed. An oak tree, the seed is within the acorn. But if it doesn't get the right nutrients, if it's not put in the right soil and, given the right amount of sunlight and water, that oak tree will never come forth from that acorn. Well, it's the same with us. If we don't nurture the seed of altruistic love within us, it will never burst forth and grow. And that's why loving kindness can be so powerful, is because it's a practice which helps us to cultivate that love and then freely share it. Through these practices, we also not only are cultivating love, but we are also being service to others by sending out these well wishes and these loving energy towards ourselves, others, in the world. So I thank you all for being here this morning, and let's get started. I invite you now to get into any relaxed or comfortable position. You're more than welcome to sit up or lay down, whichever feels best for you. You just want to find a position for the body which is comfortable and relaxed, and which you can rest in for a period of time without fighting with any discomforts. And let's begin by taking a couple of deep, long breaths together. So I invite you to take a long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale out. Take another long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale out. And one more long, deep breath in. Slowly exhale out. And if your eyes aren't closed already, I invite you to close your eyes, or if you wish, leave them slightly open. And now just allow your breath to settle to whatever its natural rhythm is right now in this moment. Don't worry about how it's showing itself. So if it's fast, that's fine. If it's slow, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Your purpose at this point is to no longer control or regulate your breath in any way, but simply just try to observe it. Try to be the witness of the body breathe. And whenever you notice that the mind wanders, all you do is just simply, gently and lovingly, just return yourself back to observing the breath. Don't get frustrated if the mind wanders or if you're having a lot of thoughts this morning. Just try to notice how the mind is. And whenever it moves away from the breath, you don't get upset. You don't add any commentary like, oh, my mind's so busy today, this is hard. As I said, just gently and lovingly, just say to the mind, okay, let's go back to the breath. Let go of wherever the mind went off to, and just refocus. By being aware of the breath, we're bringing ourselves fully into this present moment, centering ourselves in the here and now. And now we're going to begin our loving kindness practice. So I invite you now to begin to expand your awareness out to include your entire being. Just bring all your awareness and attention to yourself now, because we begin the loving kindness or metta practice with ourself. We begin first to send some loving energy towards us, directing these well wishes inwards towards ourself, because the truth is we can't truly give away what we don't have. So how can we fully give love to another if we don't have love? So again, just bring all your awareness and attention to you. And now please silently repeat. Or if you're alone, you could softly whisper and recite these statements after me. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And now please take a moment to continue to offer yourself your own loving kindness, by just continuing to silently or softly offer those well wishes to yourself. Sometimes we can feel a little undeserving of this love, a little undeserving of this attention towards ourselves. Sometimes we may sadly think that self-love is in some way selfish, but it's absolutely not. In fact, it's truly the key to our happiness, and it's the key to really everything. It's the key to attracting the right relationships. It's the key to finding our purpose, for recognizing our worth. And the truth is, if we don't truly love ourselves, people recognize that within us, and there are many people out there that take advantage of that. And so a healthy self-love is very important. So just continue on, holding your awareness upon yourself, and just continue. I am loved. I am happy. I am healthy. I am peaceful. And if you're having a hard time, maybe generating a feeling for yourself, if maybe you are feeling a little bit unworthy, then it's sometimes recommended that as you do the practice to put a smile on your face, which truly does help us to feel a little bit more uplifted, a little more joyful, and sometimes helps to increase the feeling and the quality of the loving kindness, this loving energy that we send out. And now we're going to begin to turn and direct our loving kindness, this loving energy, outwards through a series of people. And so now the first person I'm going to ask you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize in any way you can. It's somebody that you love a lot. Now this person can be living or deceased. That's not important to the loving kindness practice. It doesn't matter. Just simply try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize in any way you can someone you love dearly. It can be a family member or a very dear close friend. And now you're going to offer your loving kindness towards this person. So while you're holding them in your mind's eye or seeing them before you, just begin to send them the loving kindness by saying, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. Or if you wish to personalize it a little bit more, you just insert the person's name into the statements and say, may he or she be loved. May he or she be happy. May he or she be healthy. May he or she be peaceful. And now just take a moment to continue to offer your loving kindness to this person. And don't worry if your mind is very busy this morning, if it has a lot of thoughts. All you're doing is noticing them. That's the nature of the mind. We're not wishing the moment was different than it is. We're just trying to be with the moment as it is and just focus on this person we love dearly and send out this loving energy towards them. So if you notice the mind wanders, just bring it back to this person, refocus upon them, and start again from the beginning. Don't worry about where you went off in the statements. Just start from the first one and say, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And now we're going to move on to the next person in the loving kindness practice. And so now I'm going to ask you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize, in any way you can, someone you know who might be having a hard or a difficult time right now. Now, I often share that in today's world, there might be many ways people are suffering or going through some difficulty. So this could be a difficulty that they're dealing with mentally or emotionally. And so maybe there's someone you know who's struggling right now in such a way where they're struggling mentally or emotionally because of the lack of finances or a job or something of that nature. But of course, you can also pick someone who's suffering physically with a sickness, illness, or disease, and maybe is in need of a little bit of extra healing at this moment in time. So just try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize someone you know who's going through a difficult time. And now you're going to offer your loving kindness towards this person in the same way you did with the person you love dearly. You can either just think of them and say, "May you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful." Or if you wish to make it a little bit more intimate and personalized, you just insert the person's name into the statements and say, "May he or she be loved. May he or she be happy. May he or she be healthy. May he or she be peaceful." And don't just let this be lip service. Try not to just run through the statements very fast and recite them very quickly, but really think about what you're offering. And if possible, try to put a little bit of feeling behind it. Bring the head and heart together so that you're sending out the phrases, but putting a little bit of loving kindness and heartful energy behind it. But the other thing is to not struggle to try and generate a feeling. We want it to just sort of arise within us naturally or even spontaneously. And what you can do is just really contemplate what you're sending out and then just rest in the phrases. And by resting in the phrases, I mean when you say, "May you be loved," just stop for a moment and think about what you're really sending to this person when you say that. And then, "May you be happy." And rest in that phrase for a moment, thinking about what you're really sending to them. And this happiness will hopefully bubble up within you. And so you're generating a little bit of feeling behind it, bringing the head and heart together as one. And now we're going to begin to move into the second half of the loving kindness practice, which sometimes for some people becomes a little bit more of a challenge, or a little bit more difficult, maybe I should say. And so the first person now that I'm going to ask you to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, or visualize in any way you can is someone who is a neutral person to you. Now, by neutral, we just mean someone who you have really no feelings for, either good or bad. So there's no real attachment. You don't really love them dearly. But on the flip side of that coin, there's no aversion because you don't really dislike them or hate them in any way either. It's somebody that there's really no story attached to them. We really don't know much about them. sometimes it's hard for people to think of a neutral person, like, who do I know that's neutral? So little examples I often share is maybe you can think of your delivery person, or maybe there's a neighbor on your block or within your apartment complex that you've seen their face before, maybe even waved to them as you go about your day, but you don't know anything about them. So someone in that sort of category, just try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize in any way possible this person in front of you, or try to see them in your mind's eye. And now do your best to offer them your loving kindness with the same feeling and quality you did for those that you've loved dearly and who are sick or going through some sort of difficult time. Now you might not know the person's name, so here is probably just best to use the may you be statement. So you think of the neutral person and say, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. And just continue on. And if you're noticing that the quality of your loving kindness is a little bit different with the neutral person compared to those you've loved and those who are going through a difficulty, please don't judge yourself. That's fine. That's natural. But if you want to try to generate a little bit of a stronger feeling, then as I've said before, you can try to put a little smile on your face. Carry it throughout the practice. It really does help us to feel a little bit more positive, uplifted, lighter. And it can help us to increase the quality or feeling of our loving kindness energy that we're sending out. But if you find the smile distracting, then you don't have to use it. It's just a little tool or trick that might be helpful to some. And now we're going to be moving into the next part of the loving kindness, in which I'm going to ask you now to try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize, in any way you can, someone from the present or your past that you may have had a hard or a difficult time getting along with. Someone who may have hurt you, used you, even possibly wronged you in some type of way. Now, if you're new to the loving kindness practice, if you're joining us for the first time at this Metta Medics group, then it's often recommended you don't think about the most difficult relationship or hated person you could think about in your life or the world. Just use someone who's a little bit more mildly troublesome, maybe a slight irritation to you, because we don't want to be too overwhelmed in this part of the practice, especially if we're a beginner. And so just try to picture, imagine, sense, feel, visualize in any way you can someone from the present or the past with whom you've had difficulty or conflict. And now to try to send them out your loving kindness and see how that feels for you. Think of them and say, may you be loved. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. We start with someone more manageable because we want to observe our reactions and maybe see how it's feeling with this person Maybe notice how we're holding back our love and compassion towards certain people, and where there's work to do when it comes to truly cultivating that altruistic love. The more we do this practice, the easier it gets, because we recognize that when someone is unkind to us, they're often coming from a place of pain themselves. And sometimes we may notice that with this person of difficulty, just bringing them into our mind's eye, we feel angry, upset, or annoyed, or there's a little voice in the back of our head that begins to say, I don't really wish this for this person. This person has hurt me in some way, or used me, and that's okay, that's natural, but what we're recognizing is that change is possible. And as you become more comfortable in the practice, you begin to be able to do it with a little bit more ease. The heart opens and softens. And this is where, although it could be a challenging part of the practice, the most liberating, because this is where conditional love is turned into altruistic love, and this is where we truly learn to love thy enemy. And now, last but definitely not least, we're going to send out our loving kindness now to all beings, to all life, everywhere in this universe. So now, once again, just silently repeat these 4 phrases after me. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be peaceful. May all beings be loved. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be peaceful. Now please take this final moment to sincerely and wholeheartedly offer your loving kindness now to all beings, to all life, everywhere in this universe. A little visualization I share at this point to help you maybe think about how to send out this loving energy towards all beings or throughout the entire universe is you could just think of yourself as a radio transmitter, and when you say may all beings be loved, send out a loving colored energy in all directions. And then when you say may all beings be happy, whatever color symbolizes happiness to you, send out a wave of happy energy in all directions. May all beings be healthy, send out a healing, peaceful energy or healing colored energy in all directions. And when you say may all beings be peaceful, send out a peaceful colored energy away from you in all directions. And just see how that feels. For some, the visualization may be more of a distraction. So if you find it not helpful, just put it aside. I only offer it as a tip or a trick or tool. And not every tip is helpful for all minds, all people. And just continue on with this final moment, thinking may all beings be loved, may all beings be happy, may all beings be healthy, may all beings be peaceful. And hopefully you've carried that smile throughout the practice, helping you to feel that loving energy, sending out those well wishes to all beings everywhere. Our meditation has come to its end. You may want to bring some gentle movement to your body, perhaps by wiggling your toes or wiggling your fingers. Others might like to take a couple of deep breaths just to bring their awareness back to the body or grounded in the room or the space that you're in. And whenever you feel ready, just slowly begin to open your eyes. Again, I truly thank you all for joining with us this morning, as many of you do almost every Monday and Friday. I'm truly appreciative of you. In fact, this whole community is only because of you. So I thank you for joining us. I thank you for being a part of it. I thank you for telling your friends and family and inviting people to join us. I think we're almost at like 700 members now. And I truly appreciate each and every one of you who is tuning in on a regular basis. And of course, all of you that are here today. Thank you, Karen and Lisa and Pele and Wes and Emily and everybody else whose names have scrolled past as we were doing this today. I truly appreciate all of you. And just remember again that, the cultivation of altruistic love is one of the highest teachings, and that doesn't matter who, all traditions ask us to cultivate, is that love that wants to be of service to others, that love that seeks nothing in return but just only wants to share itself. And so all of us that are coming together every Monday and every Friday to do this, and hopefully maybe you're practicing love and kindness in between Monday and Friday, I hope, but we're truly doing practices to help nurture that seed of altruistic love within us and truly trying to develop it to its full potential. So thank you all. I hope that each and every one of your days is truly filled with an abundance of love, happiness, and peace, and I look forward to seeing